Ellie here from the Dark Imp, helping parents reclaim family time by playing board games together. So now if you play games with your family, you'll know that sometimes the arguments and bickering start before you even get to the table. Choosing a game can be really difficult, especially if people have different tastes and want to play different things. So I'm going to run through some different ways you can choose which games to play as a family in the hopes that you might find something that works well for you. Option 1. Take it in turns. Keep a track of who chose last time and whose turn it is to choose this time, and just take the pick of whoever's turn it is. Yes, this might leave you playing some games you don't want to play, but it's quite fair because once in every 4 or 5 or 6, depending on how big your family is, it'll be your pick. Option 2. Put games in a hat. Each person chooses one game they really want to play. They write that on a piece of paper, fold it up, put it in a hat or a saucepan or something. And then delve into the pan or to the hat and take out one of the pieces of paper. That's the game you play. People see this as reasonably fair because everybody has the same chance of having their game picked. Just watch out if someone gets repeated picks of their own game and others might get a bit frustrated. Option 3, random selection. Put the names of all the games you have on some sort of database or spreadsheet, or if you don't have that many games, then just put them all the names on bits of paper, put them all in a hat and take one out. Nobody's made any choice. It's completely random based on whatever comes out of your collection. Option 4. Negotiate a set of games. So can you get it, instead of getting it down to 1, can you get it down to 3 or 4 that everybody would be sort of happy to play? If everybody can agree on a small set, then you can choose at random from that smaller set. Or option 5, have your games on rotation. Create a strict system whereby you know which game is coming next because you work through your list and you do the next one. That's pretty fair, except if there's one game that lots of people don't like playing. Another problem is that sometimes some games just aren't right for some situations. So if something comes up that's really weighty and meaty and everybody's a bit tired and you haven't got that much time, it's going to fall a bit flat. Option 6, choose the game and then choose the people. We use this sometimes. I might say, I really fancy playing Pandemic. Who wants to play with me? That's a possible one. Choose the game, then choose the people. So the downside of this is that you might end up playing on your own, I suppose. And if you wanted a set games night with everybody playing, it might not happen. But at least everybody at the table will want to be there. Option 7 is that the loser of the previous game chooses the next. This is a nice sweetener for people who've lost a game. And that can be a really pleasant thing. Oh, don't worry, you've just lost a game, but you can choose the next one. The problem with this might be that people throw the game. If they know they're not going to win, they might try to lose just so they get to choose the new game. Option 8 is at the end of the previous game, the group makes a full decision about what they're going to play next. The issue with that is that if there's a gap, like the next day or the next week even, what you felt last time might not apply to this time. Option 9 is the path of least resistance. In this case, the adult sort of listens to what all the children have to say and then decides which game will be the least problematic to put on the table. The benefit of that is that someone makes a clear decision and it will get everybody to the table. But you might end up with a game that not, that people just feel indifferent about. And option 10, this is my personal favourite. Option 10 is one cuts and the other chooses. And you can do this with a number of different people. Let's say we're going to do it with 2. Let's assume that we're playing as a family of 4 and we have 2 children. And the adults will play anything, the children want to have a choice. One of the children chooses 3 games they'd be happy to play, and the other one cuts it down to 1. So one chooses a selection and the other one selects from that selection. They each have some say in it, they've each got some decision-making power and power of veto. This works quite well. You can scale it up, so if you've got 3 people that want to be involved in choosing, one chooses 5 games, the next cuts it down to 3 and the last cuts it down to 1. Again, everybody has some power of selection and some power of veto. That's 10 ways to choose games you can play with your family.